Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I would like to offer you a complementary practice in addition to the material things that you are obviously doing, like calling your representatives, calling your congressmen and your senators and your city council people and your mayor and your first selectman, and joining mutual aid groups and joining your block association and signing up for alerts and all the other things that you're doing already to be an informed and committed community member fighting for the well-being and security of all people. In addition to all those things, which I hope you're doing, I would like to offer you a complementary action that you can take, which I believe is extremely powerful and is something you can do from your own home on your own time, but will have impact. The more people who do this, the more impact it will have. And this is going to sound a little woo-woo for people who are, for some people, but this is borne out in all kinds of scientific studies. And if you are curious, I can send you down the rabbit hole of where to read about quantum entanglement and MRIs that demonstrate brain activity and how we can measure the electromagnetic field and all kinds of things like that. But if you can just tolerate your skepticism for a second and tune in to your intuition and to your heart, I have an offering, and that is how we can use our imagination and our concentration to support those communities impacted by ICE right now. That may be your community. It may be, like many of us right now at the time that I'm recording this, really have Minneapolis on our hearts. So for me, that's the first place I'm going to start. But this concept is applicable to anyone. It's actually applicable to anything, and I'll probably say more about that later. But what we can really do now is once, twice a day, take 2 minutes, 5 minutes to sustain our imaginal sensory concentration on beautiful, peaceful, positive outcomes for those people and places impacted by ICE. So here's what you're going to do. You can do this. I think it's very helpful to do this when you first wake up or when you go to sleep. But the reason for that isn't because those are magical times, despite what people will sometimes say. The reason they become magical is because your thinking mind, your chatty mind, is softer when you first wake up, like when you first wake up and before you go to sleep. That is, if you're not someone who's like waking up and looking at your phone. Once your phone is involved, your chatty mind is on. So, but really, like anytime works. If you're washing dishes and you can bring yourself into like a centered place, that's a perfectly good time. You could be walking your dog in the park. You could do it after your kids go to school and you have a cup of coffee, take 5 minutes. It's not precious and it's not difficult. So the first thing you need to do is get yourself centered. That means different things to different people. For some people, that's like just, like shaking off, the stress in their shoulders. For some people, that's closing your eyes and breathing into your belly. You know best. The important thing is that you come into the present and just try to soften the chatter. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel your butt in the seat. Feel your breath in your belly. If you can, soften your forehead, drop your shoulders, like loosen your jaw a little bit, check in, see how much you're clenching, try to soften your jaw. If you know how to open your crown chakra, that's great. If you don't, or this is like not familiar to you, just take a moment to imagine a softness and even an openness above your head. And you can really imagine light shooting down from above you, like into the top of your head, down your spine. Some of you can picture this like very clearly in your mind's eye. Some people have a very kinetic experience of it, and they really feel it come into their being more like in their body kinetically. And if neither of those things happen, that's okay. You can also just kind of like very gently, softly narrate it to yourself, almost kind of tell yourself a story. You don't have to lock into it. It's not hard. Just gentle, gentle, gentle. It's just a suggestion. So give your mind and your imagination a suggestion that this is happening, okay? And then the same thing with the base of your body. You want to kind of feel like your butt, like the base of your spine, soften. And you want to empty out any stress that's falling, kind of like just jump it out the bottom. You're going to give it back to Mother Nature, give it back to the earth, let the earth recycle it. And then you're kind of pulling that light through your core, through your midsection, until you feel it going out the bottom of you. Even if you don't really know if it's happening, that's okay. Just give yourself 1 to 2 minutes to breathe into your belly, relax the tension in your body, feel your feet, feel your breath, feel your butt, kind of soften your head, feel your jaw. And then take like 1 or 2 good breaths. And then what you want to do is focus on a imaginative, imaginal, if you can visualize, sense of the place where you want to see a positive outcome. So let's use Minneapolis as an example. Right now, my mind can immediately call to images, things I've seen in the news, things that are quite frightening, images of people flooding the streets, but also images of violence. And so I've never been to Minneapolis, but I do have a little bit of a sense of it. I've also been to other places in the middle Northwest, so I have a little bit of I'm just lucky to have a little bit of a touchstone of what it might feel like there. But even if you don't, just imagine. And you want to feel the people, like imagine, in whatever that means to you, in your heart, in your body, in your mind. You want to imagine those people, and then you want to transform whatever you're experiencing when you think about Minneapolis now. You want to transform it into something beautiful, peaceful. So some of the things that I am finding, I keep seeing like the sun coming out, and like this is actually probably from I can tell now I know what this is from. This is from, for those of you who read tarot, what I'm picturing is the 10 of Cups with the family, and they're facing the pastoral setting, and you see the rainbow over them. I just was really tuning into the 10 of Cups sensation, which is really this, it's about so many things, but among those things is a sensation of really mature, exalted, reciprocal love. And the abundance that comes not from the material goods of our life, but from a deep sense of connection to each other, and to your own well of creative force. So that's why this is coming in for me right now. But for those of you who know that card, you could just pull the card out of your deck, and like you can look at that card and like feel into the scene that Pamela Coleman Smith has illustrated. If you're using a Rider-Waite-Smith deck, if you're not, whatever image speaks to you, really, just put yourself in that place, and then imagine the people of Minnesota experiencing that. Okay. I'm also seeing I'm seeing a man freely and joyfully riding his bike through a park. And I'm seeing barbecues happening on front lawns with neighbors out freely, enjoying the day, enjoying the weather, and enjoying, I don't know why the weather's coming to me so strongly, but it is. Maybe because it's so cold right now. I don't know. But just enjoying the space, enjoying the community. I am imagining children playing in the streets, like where I'm taking those images of people bundled and, you know, shoulder to shoulder and holding the line, and I'm transforming them in my imagination to so much more freedom, space between them, unencumbered. I think that's also why, like, I'm seeing them taking off those layers, and I'm feeling the warmth on my skin, and I'm imagining the children like we're just running and playing with each other. And I'm seeing also, you know, another way you could do it would be to see like that kind of exuberance and celebration that we might associate with, like, you know, winning a sports game, or if you want to be very dramatic about it, like a D-Day kind of a thing, like that feeling of like, oh, I'm turning and kissing strangers in the street. I'm cheering. Like there's a great sense of accomplishment and relief. That's another sensation that you could tune into. I just was seeing someone on a ladder, like fixing a roof, and it being just a safe place to be doing it. And people driving with their windows rolled down. I keep seeing just like, I don't know, all my images are in the summer, but these are all things that I've been imagining. And when I think about them, I really take the moment to feel it in my body. I'm about to sneeze. Sorry. I don't know what that means. I'll have to think about that. Why I was almost sudden about to sneeze when I was feeling it in my body. I really take the time to feel the sensation of relief, of exuberance, of joy, of like open-heartedness. And within that, like, I really try to bring in a sense of peace, a really deep feeling of peace in my body. And as you're doing this work, if you can sustain that concentration and you can sustain that feeling in yourself for even a couple minutes, even 2 or 3 minutes, you will be impacting the field, the quantum field. The more of us who do this, the more impact we will have. As I said, I can make another video kind of explaining how I understand this and how I conceptualize this and kind of what my receipts are here. But if you trust that this is possible, even if you don't, even if you're skeptical, what would it cost you to try? Nothing. Between 2 and 5 minutes out of your day. Maybe 10 if you can do it twice a day. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth trying. If you're a person with a magical practice, you can close this imagining in some way. You can kind of use your words or a gesture, you know, like if you were raised in the church, you might have learned a gesture to close something out, or a religious space. But if you were not and you're a secular person, you can just say something like, may there be peace between us always. Or, you know, like you hear people say in the church, like, peace be with you. But you can say something else too. You can say like, may the blessings, what it keeps coming to me is like, may the blessings of peace be with you. That's what I'm getting. You'll find out what your own language is. It's not for me to tell you, because it's not prescriptive. You don't have to do it any certain way. You do it the best way for you. You find the right language for you to say to yourself and the field and the people that you are supporting, to say, I am co-creating peace with you. Peace May the blessings of peace be with you. That's just all I got today. I hope some of you will try that. It will really, I think we're going to find this year more than ever how much our collective energetics can influence beautiful outcomes. Okay, more soon. Bye.